I'm willing to bet that most of you in here haven't really done anything fancy your entire life. Well, now I can show you how to make something fancy with a garden party. Now you're probably thinking, what the heck is a garden party? Well, basically, it's like a barbecue, but better. There's no grill, there's no messy meats, it's dignified, cleaner, there are rules, okay? Now first off, since you're gonna be hosting the garden party, you need to look fancy. Now you should be wearing something like that. That's kind of a tux, but I'm missing a lot of stuff with it. But one thing you can do to make yourself really fancy, get a top hat. Okay, these things are the height of fanciness. Now I should tell you, you are in charge of everybody at your party, so you need to make sure everyone has excellent manners. Now there are some simple ones, like Mabel, for example.
Huh? What?
Mabel, if you're able, keep your elbows off the table, you know.
Oh, my bad.
No burping, no slurping. Take small bites and chew thoroughly with your mouth closed. Easy ones. And yeah, that's kind of it for manners, except for the dress code. Not super important, but you should dress Connecticut casual, which basically just whatever your parents wore to work. So, yeah. Next thing, kind of super underrated, but for me is super important, is the location. Now, the most ideal place would be probably a hand-plowed 12-acre beet farm, if you could. But if you can't, any open space would probably work. But next, easily the most important, is the entertainment, okay? Now, when people walk in the doors, you should be standing right there, ready to announce their name. Because the more volume bestowed on a person, the more honor they feel as they walk in. And the next thing I want to talk about is something I like to call the tableau vivant. Now this is not only welcome, but expected entertainment at any garden party. And you're probably thinking, what the heck is that? I don't speak French. But basically, it's when you and your staff are going to reenact some sort of famous painting. For example, The Last Supper. Okay, you can leave now.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, you don't have to do The Last Supper. You could do pretty much whatever you want, as long as it is fancy. Okay? Fancy. Now, one thing that you should probably know is that as host, your job is to be the dance master. Okay? So, basically, you should come up with your own special dance. And basically, you don't have to do anything special. You could just take your feet and you could just be like. But, I mean, you don't really have to do anything like that unless, of course, you want to, which I don't know why you would. But the last thing I want to talk to you about is the most important. Okay, it's something I like to call closing ceremonies, okay? This is where you and your staff will basically pull out the big guns and do something extremely crazy. So, if I can have Joe come up here, take these. So these are 2 pieces of wood. And imagine that there's real fire on here. So you would want to take these pieces of wood and you could start.
That's how you do it.
Okay. So that is basically closing ceremonies. But you can come up with literally whatever you want to for closing ceremonies. You could bring in animals. You could bring in fire. You could probably burn down the entire place if you did. But I think it's amazing. And the drumming is obviously very important if you want to do something of this caliber. But yeah, so basically that is how you throw a garden party, and I hope all of you are able to throw something this fancy in your life. Thank you.